Okay. Okay, we're here today for CDRC Tuesday, May 10th. I apologize for the delay in starting a few minutes late. We're here for Congregation of Ridnick, 22 Rustic Drive, for a residential house of worship to discuss a preliminary site plan. I don't know, Mordecai, if you or the rabbi are going to speak first, but if you'd like to introduce the project, please do so.
It's Rabbi Berger, and I'll introduce the project. I believe the project is a thing which was already spoken about this a couple of years ago with a little different plan. And unfortunately, came on a few things throughout this years, but now we're back on to put this plan on. We would like to get this approved and get this residential house of worship. We should be able to do whatever we need to do to be able to have the use from this place as a residential house of worship, and the proper way done with the right parking lot and with everything we need. We hired the team of professionals, which is Paul Gdansky, and also a building architect, which should be able to get everything which needs to be done. And we would like if the village would be able to give everything they need. We should be able to have it done ASAP. Thank you.
I don't know if we want to go through Mr. Fusco's letter for any questions.
I mean, I went through the comments. They're not a big deal. We can take care of all the issues.
Okay, I don't know if you saw the comments I only sent this morning from the fire inspector, and I apologize.
No,
And-
it's okay. I read through them. It's fine. The building's going to be code compliant. That's fine.
All right, so it's going to be code compliant. Whatever they put in their letter, I believe they discussed sprinklers, fire rated doors, exit lights, emergency lighting, all of that. That's not an issue.
Yeah, that's not an issue. The architect will take care of that.
Okay, and I believe the architect is on, correct? Moshe Jacobovitz? I believe I saw him on here.
Yes, I'm on.
Okay, thank you. Hi, how are you?
Just to clarify, I'm not an architect. I'm just a designer.
Oh, you're the designer. Okay, thank you.
So we have an architect also on file. That's Fisher.
Right,
I'm just a space planner. Designer.
okay, thank you. Al, do you want to go through any of your planning or engineering comments?
I think you could just supply them to them. It'd be fine with me. They're pretty straightforward, and have their architect, Mr. Fisher, give me a call.
Okay,
Yeah, a lot of the comments are on the plan. I'll respond to the letter.
I appreciate it very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Al.
okay, that's the engineer, but you also want the architect to contact you too, Al?
Yes, yes.
Lou or Dan? Discussion items?
I don't have anything at this point.
Well, I have a bunch of stuff. I was reviewing some of Fusco's comments. Number one, the project involves the use of a mikveh and a place of worship to an existing home. The project we referred to the ZBA, that's true. Based on code 210.12.1B1, it needs to be referred to the planning board with a complete app at some point too. The planning board attorney is to conform the combination of residence and a place of worship. That is allowed by code 210.12.1 according to section B4. The other issues that I have are with the
Yeah, I
drawings.
just want to, I'm sorry to interrupt, but just to be clear for the future, that sentence in Mr. Fusco's letter, it's always the building inspector that makes readings on code provisions and determinations, not the
Like
attorney.
it if the building inspector does it.
Excuse me?
You like it when the building inspector does it.
Oh, New York State law
Yeah, the zoning officer.
tells me I have to like it.
Right, I'll make sure I correct that in future.
Thank you.
The other question, the other issues that I have are with the drawings that were supplied by Paul. The bulk table is incorrect for the R35 zone. It's not 40% for developmental coverage, it's actually 35. And the calculations for the residential place of assembly, you calculated the assembly using 1,400 square feet. The area of assembly is actually 3,771. And it's based on 1 parking space for every 200 square feet or 1 per every 3 seats. Based on the square footage, the code 21012B2 defines the seat as 20 square feet per person. So based on the 1895 residential house of worship prayer area, the room should be based off of 95 people, or 3 seats would require 32 parking spaces.
Can you give me that again? What were you saying the breakdown should be?
The breakdown, according to code, the code for it's the parking is either of 2 ways. It's 1 space for every 200 feet or 1 space for every 3 seats.
By the
Okay,
way,
yeah,
That was in 210B
21056-3.
56.3.
and then you got the breakdown? How'd you get to the, because
Well, even though the plans are not to scale, I approximated based on the scales on the sheet and measured out the 2 prayer area rooms, the synagogue room and the women's section. I got 1345 for the worship room that's labeled synagogue and 550 for the women's area. I added those up to 1895, and based on the code, it's 20 square feet per person, and the code is 210-12.1B2. And it's 95 people. So
Okay.
3 seats per space means 32 parking spaces.
I'll correct that. And they'll have to apply for a variance.
what on the floor plan from PlanViz dated 5/5/22, what are you referring to by proposed commercial and existing commercial?
Yes, hi. Proposed commercial is basically the new structure that we're planning to build.
But
And
the religious use is not commercial.
Correct.
so I missed, that's not commercial. That's the wrong word. But I mean the synagogue. I mean, not residential.
So let's come up with a more accurate
Okay.
description.
Okay.
It makes it seem like you're going to have a doctor's office or
No, I meant non-residential. That's what I meant. So I guess I should write non-residential, I guess.
It's considered
What
A3, area of assembly.
yeah, I think it's area of assembly.
Area of assembly. Okay.
So you're going to change the wording from commercial to area of assembly.
Yes, I will.
Thank you. Lou, did you have anything else?
I did have one other question on the drawings dated 2/15/22 from PlanViz. There is a handicap men's stall in the bathroom that has a doorway going into the boiler room. Is there a reason for that door to be there?
That's an existing door that's actually there.
That might be a
So not-
surprise for somebody using the men's stall.
no, it's not just usually going to be closed, but I just had it in mind, just if we need to make any fixing on the board or stuff like that, we should come in from there. But if it's an issue, we can take it away.
Mainly because as part of the separation between the house and the house of worship, the wall should be fire resistant.
Okay,
So I
Yeah.
don't think you want to put a fire door into a bathroom stall.
okay, we'll take it away. Thank you.
No problem.
By the way, I can't tell from looking at this screen. Do you have legal counsel on this meeting?
I don't believe so, Dan. On the application, they did not have a legal counsel listed unless they secured one after the submission. But there is not one listed on the application.
Okay, it's Rabbi Berger talking. We didn't hire any legal guy till now. Meanwhile, it's only Paul. I asked Paul to be here. To should be able to answer whatever it need to be answered or take notes. And the same is with PlanVis. But otherwise, we don't have anybody else on board.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure because if you were represented, I wanted to make sure that your attorney had the ability to not only listen, but also participate.
No,
in
as
this
of right
meeting.
now, we don't have anybody listening, as far as I know.
All right, so Lou, what's the zoning district?
R35.
Okay, so Mr. Fusco, you're also gonna have to change your May 3rd letter because it says R25.
Okay, thank you.
So I think we'll get the changes made to the plans and then resubmit. Is that what you want us to do?
Yeah. Do we have an EAF?
Yes, there's an EAF in there.
Why do I not? Oh, I see it. Hold on. Al, did you review the EAF?
I did initially. I didn't see anything, an error other than some clarification. Nothing significant.
Are there any wetlands?
No, there isn't.
Good answer.
Do we know the variances that are going to be required?
Some of them are noted on the plan, but I have to
You're
discuss
going
the
to change
parking
the
with the
bulk
rest.
table, so you'll
Yeah, yep.
update all that? So you're
Yep.
going to update the variance requests? Okay.
Yep.
Thank you.
Fran, anybody? Get me a May 3rd letter to Airline.
Let me ask you a question. How is it that the building inspector is coming up with double the size of the place of assembly than you show right now on your planimetric plan, page 1?
I guess you're asking me, Moshe, yeah, PlanVis?
Yeah. How
So
could it be?
he said that he scaled it based on, I don't know how he got it, but I didn't AutoCAD, and that's what I got. I'm gonna remeasure what he says, but I think mine is correct. I don't know how you measured it. But I'll remeasure again, just this place of worship, and I'll give you the number. But
You are including the rabbi's study in the place of worship, correct?
no,
Why not?
that's gonna be private.
It would be private if it wasn't a house of worship. If it was just a rabbi's study in a regular house, it would be private, but it happens to be in the house of worship, and it's a meeting room where he meets with the congregants.
Okay,
We've
listen, I
always
thought
considered it part of the house of worship.
it's connected to the house of worship. It's a private study, but listen, if you feel that that's the case, then be it.
I did not count that in the calculation for the parking spaces, however. I only counted the 2 worship rooms.
And you got to 1895, you said?
No, I got 1345 for the main room and 550 for the woman's.
I was like, let me write it down. 1395,
Nope, 1345
1345.
1345.
for the main room and 550 for the woman's area.
So it's a total of 1895.
1895 is the total. I got the woman's area as 24 by 22 feet. And I don't have the measurements written out on the other one. But the plan isn't to scale, and there are a lot of measurements missing on it. It's also not signed or stamped.
That's correct. That's like I said, I'm just a designer. I'm not an architect. So we'll have to get. I just made the concept. I'm not an architect.
Okay,
So Fisher is gonna have to verify that. But I'll look it over again, yes, based on your numbers.
I'm gonna need a lot more measurements in there because there's a lot of measurements missing.
All right, so Lou, for CDRC, do you want the actual architectural plan signed, sealed with their measurements?
I'd like
Versus-
something, yeah, signed and sealed with numbers on it.
Okay. All right, so for the next CDRC. Okay.
Okay.
I'm confused about something else. It appears you have 2 engineers.
Yeah, you have Celentano, I believe, for the survey and Gdansky for the plans. I noticed that as well, and they said they originally took the survey because when they submitted years ago, and it was before the planning board, Celentano was the engineer, but now they're using Gdansky.
But what's the purpose of this survey? Wouldn't it be trumped by?
Yeah, you shouldn't have
Advances?
anything from Anthony. as
Yeah,
part
well,
of
we
this
do.
application.
We do
Okay.
actually, we have the narrative.
The
A-
narrative.
And the survey. And the
narrative
survey's dated,
survey Came from him.
and the survey's dated May 2nd, 2022 from Anthony.
And there were 2 different narratives from Anthony. Because they actually they revised it dated January 22nd, 2022 from Anthony. I don't know if you saw it, Paul.
No, I didn't.
All right, I'll send it to you.
Also, Paul, could you either verify or correct the measurements for the front yard and front yard setback? Unless the house moved, Anthony has it as 49.7, not 50 feet.
Bottom line, are you guys going to be using 1 engineer or 2?
It's one. Me and Anthony are working together. I mean, he's the surveyor. I'm the engineer for it. But I'll get it. We'll get it corrected.
Thanks, Paul.
Okay.
No problem. Anytime.
Paul, did you get an opportunity to review the prior submission?
I did. I saw multiple submissions that Anthony had sent me, and they were subtle difference. One had parking on a different spot. This one, the one they went with, had parking located in the back like I show it, but I had to extend it a little bit more to get a couple more spaces, which I may end up extending even more so that the variance is less. But
Well, I'm
I
actually
did-
going beyond that. What I'm suggesting is that you foil and review the village's file so that you have an idea what the concerns were with the prior iterations of this plan, to see if you can address those through your new plan.
All right,
I-
I can also get I can get the comments from Anthony on the previous iterations too.
Yeah, I don't have that electronically, like I've been requesting the last 2 years with the Zoom. So you would have to come in and actually physically see it, unless you want me to send it out and pay for it, but you might get,
I mean-
get some stuff from him.
I just remember there were memos from Eve in particular that dealt with major concerns about, I mean, I'm going back years now, but I think drainage. I think there was something with how do I characterize it? In raising the house, what it was built upon, there was some issue with whether or not I think it could hold the structure above it.
I mean, the architect's gonna have to look at that and determine whether that's an issue.
Right. All I'm suggesting is to get copies of Eve's memo so that the architect has something to review and respond to.
Yeah, no problem. I can get copies of that.
Yeah, if you just fill out a FOIL poll, I can email that. That's easy. It's the plans
right.
that I can't email.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, my recollection is that there were memos that raised concerns.
No problem.
And just to be clear, you're going under the 2007 code,
Mhm.
Paul.
Yes.
Yeah, I gave a
Okay.
copy to the rabbi and to Mordecai when they were here. If you need me to send that, Paul, let me know.
Yeah, you can send it to me because they
Okay,
didn't give it to me. All right,
okay, I'll make sure you get it.
thanks.
Mm-hmm.
All right, how much time are you guys gonna need?
When do you need plans for the next CDRC
Oh.
meeting?
Technically, the next meeting is the 14th, but I hadn't heard from the whole CDRC team. I had suggested to move it to June 7th so we can do it via Zoom, because the 8th is the last day for Zoom.
For
So-
now,
For now, unless that's changed. And Lou and I believe Dan said they're okay with the Tuesday, the 7th. Al, I didn't know if that worked for you.
Let me look real quick.
Okay.
When would it have to be in by for the
Oh,
7th?
the 26th of May, which is
Okay.
actually, it's the same date for the June 14th. It just gives the consultants a little less time because we're moving it a week. But I know there's not a lot of time between the meeting and the next meeting in order to do all these changes. So I kept that the same as May 26th is the deadline, and proposing so that we could still do Zoom unless something changes on the 7th of June at 11 o'clock.
All right, I'll try and get it in by the 26th. I'm waiting for the landscaper and the lighting guy to get back to me with stuff.
Okay. If not, the next meeting, the deadline is June 23rd for a July 12th meeting.
Okay,
And I'll send you the schedule. So you have the CDRC schedule. I have a whole
I'm
thing.
good.
You're good for that, Al? Okay, thank you. I'll send a reminder to everyone to update your calendars.
All right, we're gonna try for the 26th.
Okay, that's great.
All right.
Anybody else have anything? Any questions? Any more comments? And before some of you were on, I think before Al got on, Paul Gdansky acknowledged the Tolman Fire Department letter and the letter from the fire inspector, and he didn't see an issue with that. So hopefully those items can be reflected on the next set as well.
Hold on a second. He said he
Yes.
would follow the code on that.
Excuse me?
Actually, what Paul said was they would follow the code.
Follow the code,
The
yes.
code does not require a sprinkler system on an A3 unless it gets to more than 300 occupants or 12,000 square feet. But both the fire inspector and the fire department are requesting a sprinkler system.
Oh.
So
Thank
the
you.
architect would have to answer to that.
Okay,
All right. Thank you for pointing that out, Lou.
no problem.
Rabbi Berger, I would just like to ask if we get all the architects, just to clarify how it goes, the whole process. If we get all the architecturals signed by the CDRC, what else do we need for planning more than that?
Well, wouldn't they need a full site plan submission with lighting, landscaping?
Yeah, that's what I'm working on.
Architecturals, elevations, everything.
So if we get this everything in by the CDRC, what else would we need? Anything else for planning, or this would be able to go right to planning?
Well, we would be on another CDRC meeting and then they would refer us to the planning board if it's acceptable.
Okay.
Mhm. Paul, I think the rabbi's concern was last time, I believe he had gone to at least 5 CDRCs before going to planning board. So I think he's trying to minimize the number of meetings, but I also tried to explain the more information you provide up front that can be commented on by all the professionals, that will get you to planning board a lot sooner. And, you know, the plans have to be signed, sealed and whatnot, certified.
Yep, no
Okay.
problem.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Okay, have a great day, everyone. Enjoy the
You
nice
too.
weather. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Take care.
Bye-bye.